Passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
It all started with denim. Well, sort of. What should have been a cute, quirky ad for American Eagle turned into an internet inferno. Sydney Sweeney, the it girl of the moment, delivered a monologue about jeans. Or jeans, depending on how you heard it. A play on words wrapped in soft pastels and hushed tones. But that wordplay hit a nerve. Fast. Accusations of promoting outdated ideas, coded language, and even white supremacy exploded across TikTok, Reddit, and just about every gossip forum on the internet. The campaign, instead of bringing a brand boost, left Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle scrambling for cover. But just as the dust was starting to settle, Doja Cat stepped in, and the controversy ignited all over again.
Blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Now, Sydney's ad wasn't particularly flashy. It featured her walking through golden fields, giving a soft-spoken narration about how certain traits are passed down from our parents. My genes are blue, she says. Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. At face value, it sounds harmless, even poetic. But it's 2025, and audiences are quick to catch what doesn't feel right. Viewers instantly associated her wording with eugenics, especially given the inclusion of personality and eye color in the mix. The soft imagery, coupled with this strange, pseudo-scientific tone, gave off a vibe that people labeled as elitist, tone-deaf, and even disturbing.
Like this would have to go through 30+ meetings. So for not one single person to speak out against this campaign was just wild.
So the VP of Marketing for American Eagle just 5 days ago went on LinkedIn and gave us a little context and some behind the scenes of this now infamous Sydney Sweeney ad. Her name is Ashley Shapiro, and she, like I said, is Vice President of Marketing, Media, Performance, and Engagement at American Eagle. Let's just start from the top. During a Zoom call with Sydney, we asked the question, how far do you want to push it? Without hesitation, she smirked, and said, let's push it.
The ad didn't just upset the general public, it cracked open a deeper conversation about how brands craft identity and who they choose to represent it. Many pointed out that this wasn't a mistake. A campaign like this goes through layers of approval: scripts, legal reviews, creative meetings, pitch decks, and internal feedback. It doesn't just sneak through. According to Ashley Shapiro, the Vice President of Marketing for American Eagle, Sydney was directly asked during a meeting, how far do you want to push this? Her answer? She smirked and said, let's push it. And that's exactly what they did, but maybe not in the way they intended.
Sydney Sweeney has faced similar criticism in the past, from the MAGA-themed birthday party photos to her perceived silence on political issues. So to some viewers, this wasn't just—
What followed was a flood of reaction videos, duets, stitches, and breakdowns analyzing the tone, the visuals, and the language. People didn't just dislike the ad, they dissected it like a case study. Accusations flew that the campaign wasn't celebrating individuality. It was glorifying a narrow, idealized image of genetic perfection. And to many, that felt a lot like coded nostalgia for a time when perfect was synonymous with white. The term crypto-fascist marketing started trending. Comparisons were made to the eerie, minimalist Calvin Klein ads of the 90s. Sydney, caught in the middle, didn't say a word. Not a tweet, not a comment, radio silence.
And Doja Cat sitting up here mocking Sydney Sweeney in that American Eagle commercial. We ain't forgot what happened in them chat rooms. Who the fuck told you could do that? I bet you if you had the opportunity, you would have been in that American Eagle commercial. I promise you would have. To sit up here and mock that commercial like you wasn't doing what you was doing years ago to get where you are now in those white supremacist chat groups, letting them call you all kinds of derogatory names. Yeah, we ain't forgot. You just want to be on the trend so bad. It's like y'all be thirsty and desperate to try to be regular. It's like, oh, let me jump on this trend because I want to be just like everybody else that's posting about it. But you're not regular. You're not. Nor does this whole take resonate with you at all. You're just doing it because you know your followers are going to fall into your little hand. And everybody that's into her comments that are laughing and hee-hee and I never expected Doja Cat to do this. They're all palm colored, or they're just not black. But she doesn't give a fuck. We ain't forgot. So if anything, Doja, please don't. Because it's the right message from the wrong fucking person. You are the last person on the face of planet Earth who needs to be mocking anything that anybody did that's in support of white supremacy, okay?
But this wasn't Sydney's first time stepping into cultural quicksand. Her MAGA-themed family birthday photos had already left fans uncomfortable. She brushed them off as apolitical. Still, the damage lingered. Many interpreted this American Eagle ad as the latest in a string of branding misfires that reeked of privilege and selective awareness. It wasn't just about the genes anymore. It became about what Sydney represented and what she didn't.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determined.
I know you're fucking lying. Doja Cat, the queen of niche racist slurs, is saying something about Sydney Sweeney. You guys appeal to the exact same audience. The only difference is that yours is well documented as opposed to Sydney Sweeney's. When I say well documented, I mean well documented. Even the Rolling Stone has clocked your racism, Doja. So let me get this straight. Doja Cat has a problem with Sydney Sweeney and her American Eagle campaign. I find that fucking hilarious. Doja Cat is the same artist that dug up a racist internet slur that was only found on 4chan. Videos came out of Doja moaning and groaning for a bunch of supremacists, and you thought we forgot? No, the North remembers. As your local internet resident of the North, I'm not gonna let you guys forget. And this is the exact reason why people have an issue with Doja Cat. She's a culture vulture. Doja Cat is a woman that obviously hates rap culture, but fiends for their approval. And she does that because she wants to be like one of the male rappers. Those are who she thinks are her peers. That's also why she thought it was appropriate to go after Sydney Sweeney. And look, I'm not defending Sydney Sweeney, but I'm calling a duck, and Doja Cat is definitely a duck. Remember guys, racist birds of a feather always flock together.
Enter Doja Cat. Known for her edgy humor and viral antics, Doja couldn't resist joining the conversation. She uploaded a TikTok recreating the ad. Same lines, same phrasing, but in a mocking tone, using a fake Southern accent and dramatic pauses to exaggerate the absurdity of Sydney's monologue. Her video went viral instantly. Some laughed, others cheered, but the applause didn't last long. Within hours, the backlash turned, and the comments changed tone entirely. People weren't just watching Doja's spoof, they were remembering who was delivering it. Almost immediately, critics started pulling receipts. Doja's own history with racially charged controversies resurfaced like it had never left. Back in 2020, she faced intense backlash after being linked to online chat rooms with users who used racist, sexist, and hateful language. Screenshots showed her laughing along, participating in questionable jokes, and even using slurs herself. Even Rolling Stone published a deep dive expose on her involvement. At the time, Doja issued a public apology claiming she didn't support hate of any kind and that she was young, naive, and joking in poor taste. But even then, many weren't buying it.
White supremacists. I am going to start with the chat room that I go to is a public chat room. It's me, my friends. You go in there. Now you have to pay $30 to get into the chat room, which is a new thing. But
in her apology, Doja tried to explain that the chat room wasn't a white supremacist space. It was public. People came and went. And yes, some of those people were problematic. She said she didn't understand the full scope of what was going on at the time. She also mentioned that she had grown up on the internet and had made bad choices trying to be funny or edgy. Still, to many fans, that defense felt paper thin, especially when some of her behavior seemed too specific, too intentional, and too performative to dismiss as ignorance.
I used to go in there for free, and I learned, that there are racist people who come in and out of the chat. They're there. They happen, and then they're banned. The idea that this chat room is a white supremacist chat room is, I don't understand it in any way. And not even full, I just don't understand.
So when Doja mocked Sydney's ad, an ad many already called tone-deaf and racially coded, it felt to some like the pot calling the kettle black. The reaction online was swift. "You're literally the last person who should be mocking someone else about white supremacy," one commenter wrote. Others piled on, calling her a culture vulture and accusing her of weaponizing outrage for attention. Suddenly, Doja's attempt at satire felt more like deflection than critique. And here's the real twist. Many people pointed out that Doja and Sydney aren't that different. They both benefit from aesthetic privilege. They both play the "I'm not political" card when convenient. They both have past controversies they've never fully addressed. The main difference? Doja mocks. Sydney stays quiet. But silence and mockery aren't all that different when they both dodge accountability. It's a matter of style, not substance. Even longtime fans of Doja began questioning whether she was using her platform to punch down rather than speak up. Instead of using her voice to bring awareness or critique the industry as a whole, she focused on mocking another woman. It felt petty, opportunistic, and for some it felt like she was trying to win back some edge after months of lukewarm public opinion. The internet doesn't forget, and it doesn't reward half-hearted comebacks. The term clout chasing started trending next to Doja's name. People questioned why she would insert herself into a controversy that wasn't about her, especially one tied so closely to race and branding. Was it a form of activism, or just another case of Doja trying to go viral? And when you're known for trolling, how do people separate sincerity from satire? The answer? They usually don't. They just stop listening. Meanwhile, Sydney continued her pattern of silence. No apology, no explanation. Just business as usual. The American Eagle ad hasn't been pulled, and neither the brand nor Sydney has issued a formal statement. This strategy of staying quiet may protect her from saying the wrong thing, but it also leaves her open to more interpretation. And right now, those interpretations are not flattering. At its core, this situation isn't just about one bad ad or one satirical TikTok. It's about something bigger. It's about who's allowed to critique culture and who gets a pass. It's about how fame is managed, who controls the narrative, and how fast the court of public opinion can turn on you, especially when your hands aren't clean. Both Sydney and Doja have made missteps, but the way they handle them and how their audiences react says a lot about what we're willing to forgive. For Doja, the question now becomes, does she want to keep playing the chaotic anti-hero? Or does she finally want to take ownership and evolve beyond her edgy beginnings? Because the internet might love drama, but it also loves growth. Right now, she's giving deflection, not development. And if she keeps swinging without checking where the punches land, she might find herself isolated even from the fans who once championed her. As for Sydney, the longer she avoids tough conversations, the more people will fill in the blanks for her. Silence isn't always neutrality. It can look like complicity. And when your image is tied to beauty, Americana, and nostalgia, the pressure to get it right is massive. One wrong campaign, one bad metaphor, and you go from icon to irony overnight. Whether or not Sydney realizes that yet is anyone's guess. This isn't just internet drama. It's a culture clash happening in real time. It's about image versus intent, apology versus action, and the blurred line between satire and hypocrisy. It's about what gets marketed to us, what we're willing to accept, and what happens when two problematic figures try to call each other out. And more than anything, it's a reminder that public memory isn't short. It's searchable. And that's where we're at. Doja Cat tried to mock Sydney Sweeney, but in doing so, she reminded everyone of her own controversies. Sydney tried to launch a nostalgic ad campaign and accidentally triggered one of the year's most uncomfortable debates. Neither one comes out of this squeaky clean, and whether either of them learns from it, well, that remains to be seen. Thanks for watching till the end. If you're still here, you're clearly the kind of viewer who doesn't just scroll past the surface, and I love that. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments whose side you're on, or if there even is one. And don't forget to subscribe to Hush Buzz for more celebrity drama deep dives, explained with zero fluff and all facts. Until next time, stay curious, stay sharp, and stay sipping.